Hi, I am Linda Black, the Yoga Life mentor, and here's one of our lifestyle videos. I'm teaching you how to make a mala, and most specifically, we're on stage 3. Part 3 is making the tassel. So I want to show you a finished one. This is a finished mala. I have the tassel here, and there's a little bling on the end. So I'll bring that a little closer so you can see it. And hopefully it'll zoom in. That's what we'll be doing today, finishing the tassel. The mala I have just made is howlite and turquoise. It's really turned out gorgeous. It's quite long and beautiful, just the way I like it. And I've chosen a tassel that is white, and it's a little sparkly. I don't know if that shows up, but it has some spark to it, sparkly, little stiffness. And then what you'll need in order to make your tassel is a CD case. And you can choose a smaller one, or I've got this thicker one because I want my tassel to be just a little bit longer. So of course, the wider you wrap, I'm using this to wrap it around, then the longer your tassel will be. Okay, so let's just take a look here. This is the end that I began with, and it has my slip knot on it. So what I can do now is take out my slip knot, make sure nothing falls off. And this is my guru bead. I have followed my guru bead by 2 dangle beads, for lack of a better word, 2 dangle beads on there. So I'll take the thread end, my needle, which I'm sure you can't see. It's just tiny, but look, it's floating. Oh! So I'll take my needle, and because I've loosened this, now I can pull my needle through the guru bead. So I'm going down the same way I came through it the first time, and now I'm going back down to make a wide joint. So that one's going in. Uh-oh. I just unthreaded one of my beads. Let me see if I can get it threaded really quick here. Okay, that's not too hard. I got it threaded, yeah. Okay, so be careful, they're not gonna come off. And then I'm gonna thread it. Again, I'm taking it, I have to take this all the way through whatever beads are on my tassel, whatever beads are part of my tassel. These beads, of course, are not part of the 108, they're decorative only. And I have 2 of them hanging down. You'll see that in a minute. So I'm taking my needle. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. And threading it right through. And now we will pull. So remember, this was my short end. That's the end I started with. And this is my thread end. I'm pulling, pulling, pulling. And now I'm just going to tighten those up and make sure all the thread is out. Okay, so what you should end up with is a long end that's hooked to a needle and a shorter end that was our pigtail, basically. So I have my whole mala completely done, and I've created a wide joint. See that? There's my 2 Ys, and there's my guru bead. Guru bead. All right. I want to make sure these are pretty snug and tight. Yeah. And now I'm going to make a square knot but I'll be doing it 3 times, not twice. So 3 square knots. There we go. That looks awesome. Switch. I'm going to make sure my long ends are here. My short ends are together. Yeah, so I'm separating 2 short ends, 2 long ends. I like to use the shorter end first. So when you tie a square knot, and if you don't know how to tie a square knot, you might have to practice. But I just take my right hand, or the short end, I'm not marrying you, and I go over the left side, bring it under, pull it tight. Now because I'm doing 3 of these, but I have also got some bling, this is where I want to put the bling in, right up next to the last bead on my mala, but I don't want it to be right up against the tassel. So I'm going to thread it in right now. Well, I have 2 square knots left. And make sure that that's going to dangle the way I like it. Yep. Then I'll go left over right. Boom. And it's a little bit different. This is a some bling I haven't worked with before. And then right over left again. So I've just done 3 square knots. Right, that's going to create a little bulk right here. And now we're going to make the tassel and stick it right in there and let it hang down. And hopefully this will work. I haven't used this before. I'm going to turn that over and put the tassel on the back side. Okay, so tassel is made out of DMC thread. This one's a little bit fancy. It was $2.59. Most DMC thread is like 60 cents. This one's just a little fancier. So I'll take this off, find my end. There should be 2 of them. And now I'm going to wrap it around my CD case 18 times. So this is where it's useful to have a friend. I'm going to struggle a little bit because I'm doing it by myself. We'll see. So I'm taking the thicker CD case because I want a longer tassel. I'm going to hold it at the top. And I'm giving it a little tail. And I'm wrapping it towards me. 1. And I need to count 2. So every time I get to the top, I'm counting another one. Wrap it around 3. So you can see that what I'm doing is keeping those threads in the same order. I don't want to crisscross them. I want to keep them very straight and vertical as I'm going around my CD case. 4. And I can see that I have 4 strands going down, 4 strands on the back side. So I know I have 4. And then I'm going to go around again. 5, keep going. 6 and 7, it helps to have a rhythm, and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 and 15 and 16 and 17 and 18. So I'm going to recount 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So I've got 18 straps around that. And now I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to cut that one. Pull this off my case. And I want to keep them semi straight. All right. Ooh, this is a little bit harder DMC thread to work with. I'm not going to lie. Okay, and then I'm going to just take it in half. Oh, super hard to work with. Put this right in the middle of, so I'm finding the middle. It's about the middle. I'm going to stick it right here. In between my 4 strands. So I've got 2 strands on this side, 2 strands on this side. And now it's in the middle. I'm going to do my square knots again. So I'm starting left over right, tying it tight, right over left. I'm always starting with the short end. Left over right. And you want to do this 9 times. 9 times. So that's 3. Right over left. 4. Left over right. 5. Right over left. 6. Really helps to count out loud so I don't forget where I'm at. Left over right. 7. Right over left, and I'm tying this pretty tight as I go. 8. And back to left over right. 9. Okay, so I've got them all done. This is pretty even. And I've got 9 knots now that are hanging. So it looks like this. 9 square knots. What I'm going to do is cover them with my tassel. So I'm going to go right over the top and fold it in half. Smooth all of those out. And because this is so long, I'm going to cut that off right now. I don't need that piece. There. So what I'm doing now is just smoothing this out, smoothing it out so it all looks good. It's going to dangle just nice, just like that. Yeah. It's going to look good. Pull it really tight. And all I'm really wanting to do for sure is to cover those 9 square knots. Okay, you can see I've covered the 9 square knots. And now I'll take my excess DMC thread here and I'm going to wrap it. That's going to keep it very tight. And I'm going to start with a little bit of tail. Go up to the top and then I'm going to start wrapping around. It doesn't matter which way you go. I'm going to wrap it 18. No, that's not right. Let's see. I'll have to look on my directions. Nine times. Yep. So I'm going to wrap this 9 times. This is where it's helpful to have a friend, for sure. We've got to go around. There's holding this tight. 1, and I'm leaving about, I don't know, a half an inch or maybe 3/8 of an inch from the top. 2, and each wrap goes right below the next one, down the tassel. 2, this gets a little bit easier as I go along. 3, bring it around. My tassel's getting a little bit, there we go. 4, 5, oh, painfully slow. 6, but you know what? It's also meditative. 7, and 8, 9. Okay, so once I wrap it around the last time, I want to bring that little tail that I had, that long tail, and this end, and just tie them together. So again, I'm going to do a pretty good knot 3 times. So it's a square knot. Take my short end over and around. 1. Oh, there we go. 2. 3. 'Keep my sides straight. All right, so what it ends up looking like is this. Got a long string, I'm gonna cut that off too. A pair of sharp scissors is always helpful. So let me show you what this looks like right now. So we wrap this around the knots, and I'm pulling it tight, and then I wrapped around the DMC thread 9 times. I did a triple square knot, so square knot plus an extra one. That makes it 3 times. And now we are all done. We just need to make it look pretty. So I'm going to trim all these ends. I want to go straight through each side. Cut it right in the middle each time. Get this one super even. That's okay. There we go. And then once all the loops are out, I'm going to look at the shortest thread, and that's the one I want to match. So now I'm just going to hold these tight and trim them all up. And you can trim them any way you want. If you want it on a diagonal, or you want to keep them pretty frayed, you could do that too. There we go. And one more time, I'm just going to trim those pretty good. Sharp scissors, really helpful here. And I've completed the mala. Very beautiful. I like it. Okay. Done.